Hello everyone, welcome back to another video on my channel. My name is Angelica and I am the creator of Love Letters to Milo. In today's video tutorial, I wanted to show you how I painted this Valentine's card using inks and using just a spray bottle. I recently bought this spray bottle for my hair, but I wanted to experiment how it worked with inks and with the watercolor paper and all that. So this little experiment turned out to be really cute. Like, I really like these, how all of this looks. I did experiment with different kind of motifs for Valentine's. I did this like hearts, and I did these other little hearts, and I just really had a lot of fun experimenting. So I wanted to show you guys the process on how I created these, and I really hope you guys enjoy the process as well. So before we jump into the tutorial, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you learned anything from the video. So let's go through the materials and then just the simple process on how to make the cards. Let's jump right in. Okay, so we are going to start by kind of drawing the calligraphy of the letter love. This is what I did for this particular card, but if you guys remember from the beginning, you can do basically anything that you guys want. You can do little hearts, little XOXO, little whatever motif you really want with the masking fluid. And then I am just making sure that I have my colors ready. I am only going to use these two colors primarily, but you can always use regular watercolors. I was just really excited about trying out my Ecolines, and because I never get to use them enough. I might use also the dropper, the eyedropper, in case I want to use an extra little bit of a splash kind of detail to it. And this is the hair spray bottle that I was mentioning before, and I am just really excited about using this spray bottle. So the very first step really is to wet the paper. So the spray bottle in particular wets it very evenly, and you want to make sure that the paper sort of like shines. I would say it's not super damp, it doesn't create puddles, it just sort of shines a little bit. Then I am going to directly grab my watercolor ink and I am going to kind of splash it into the paper and just let it flow with the water that is already in the paper. So that is mostly what I'm doing, and I am first using a few splashes of this yellow orange, and I'm gonna move it around a little bit to help the ink kind of flow, and it's not just like one spot of ink and color. Then I am going to mix it with a little bit of more water to help it move, to help the water move. Then with the pink Ecoline, I am going to go through the same process. I am going to splash a few drops, and I am sort of kind of looking where it falls. Like, I want to make sure that the letters are like covered in ink, so when I remove the masking tape, it's not that the letters don't get lost. And I am just using the spray bottle to help the ink flow. So this is what this process is. You kind of have to feel and see where the ink wants to move in the paper. Then you are going to have puddles of ink and water. So you can use either a rag or you can use a paper towel from the kitchen and absorb the extra puddles, the extra ink, the extra water, because of the nature of what we're doing. We're not using brushes, we're not using like eyedroppers or anything at this point. We just need to sort of absorb that extra ink. Ideally, you're working on a surface that doesn't get stained. Now, with the eyedropper, I'm just helping the ink again move a little bit more in the dry areas of the paper. So that is basically what I'm doing in this step, just kind of helping the ink move a little bit better. Again, I just kind of want to reiterate that all I'm doing is just a very abstract drop of ink on the paper. Like, I am just making sure that my letters are covered, that I have a good contrast in my colors, and I'm helping the ink move with water. And you constantly have to dab the paper with the excess of water, the excess of ink. I am again adding a little bit more water to help the ink move. So it's a touch and go kind of process, and you guys will get the feel of it. And it might take a couple of tries, but maybe you want to leave it a little bit expressive like this, or you want to do a little bit of a uniform wash. And so this is really an experiment for you guys, and just to see how the ink moves on the paper and what you really like to make as an expressive kind of art form. At this point, I feel like I am primarily done with the color and with kind of how the color is flowing. And I am just making sure that I don't stain my table. And I don't want to move the paper too much because I like the way the ink is flowing right now on the paper. So I'm trying to avoid moving the ink too much and just kind of cleaning up a little bit. Alright, now that the paint is completely dry, I am going to remove the masking fluid from the letters, and this is going to take a little bit of patience because the masking fluid just really is kind of stuck in there. But just with the back of a brush or with just your fingers, like it's easily taken off. It's just a little bit of patience. So go ahead and remove the masking tape. Alright, so now that all the masking fluid is completely removed, I am going to add some details with this Winsor & Newton Series 7 number 0. This is a fine detail brush, and I bought it off of Amazon. And it's great for outlining, for doing details, obviously. So I'm going to use a different Ecoline here. It is a purple one. You can use the same pink one or the yellow one, but I thought the darker color would make the letters pop out. And so I'm just gonna go ahead and go over the entire outline of the letter, and that will be that. This is the last step. And if you guys want to add more details with the brush or shadows or anything like that, please go ahead. I am going to just finish up here, and I will leave you guys with some music, and I really hope you guys enjoy making this card. So I will see you guys next week with another video. Please don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date in all the content that I upload primarily every week, or you can follow me on Instagram at Love Letters to Milo. And I hope you guys have a great week and a wonderful Valentine's Day.